Hey guys, SuperHorrorBro Mike here, and in today's video, we take a look at all secrets and endings found within festive DLC Andy's Apple Farm Christmas Special. This new addition to the base game is canon to the story as confirmed by the developer themselves, and features a host of new lore which backs up many of the theories I explored in the previous Andy's Apple Farm Story Explained video. If you haven't checked that out yet, be sure to catch up so you have a well-rounded understanding of events so far. With that said, let's explore this Christmas update and see what new mysteries and scares it holds.
Hello, this is Eastwood again. What you're about to play is a version of Andy's Apple Farm that was supposed to be unlocked via the CSNPC's internal clock system from December 15th to December 31st. This version of the game is sort of a Christmas special with an all-new story. I was never really big on Christmas. You might be though. Some people are just more geared to the holidays, I guess. I know my son Lewis is for sure. That little guy begs me to put up a Christmas tree come November 1st. Love that little man. Enough about my blabbering though. Enjoy this short Christmas special of Andy's Apple Farm. And Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and all that. December 24th, 1982.
Here is the introductory cutscene for Andy's Apple Farm Christmas Special. You will notice it features 2 jump scares, which I'll analyse after we check it out. Roll that clip.
Hello, new friend. I'm Andy the Apple. Wow, it's already the holidays. I can't wait to spend it with all my friends.
Hey Andy, happy holidays! I bought apple cookie mix.
I brought some presents.
I'm just here, man.
Well, maybe you can help me hang the stockings.
Why would I want to hang a sock?
I've even got a present for you, Andy. Oh wow, what is it?
That would break the surprise, would it not?
Wait, haven't you...
Andy, you can help me make some cookies.
Okay, whatever you guys say. Let's have a nice holiday.
The first jump scare occurs after Andy's friends turn up to his house with a knock on the door. No one answers, and after a few moments, a ghostly face and a nerving moaning sound fades in. When we pause and examine this face, it becomes clear which character it belongs to. This is the face of Thomas Eastwood's wife, Cameron, the woman who burned alive in the house fire and is now trapped inside the Margaret character within the Andy's Apple Farm game. The second jump scare is a distorted cartoon face. It appears to belong to Andy, and by extension, the human soul trapped inside him, Thomas Eastwood. In fact, the main focus of this DLC seems to be to confirm how Thomas trapped the souls of himself and his family after losing them to the sinister entity that latched onto him in reality. An entity now itself inhabiting Andy's Apple Farm in the guise of character Peter the Pumpkin. This text, which reads, "Let me out, I've trapped us all in here," confirms this concept. Next, we move on to the first of 2 secret cutscenes. The first can be discovered upon interacting with Margaret and partaking in her cookie minigame. The idea is simple: wait until the timer runs down and then remove a tray of fresh baked cookies from the oven. However, if we ignore the alarm and let the cookies burn, the following bone-chilling sequence plays out.
Okay, you can take them out of the oven.
Okay, you can take them out of the oven.
I'm sorry, Lewis. I'm sorry I couldn't save you. I felt something was holding me back. Huh? What's that smell? So what does secret number 1 represent? Well, it seems the source of the fire originated from the Christmas tree that fell over into the fireplace and caught alight. This makes sense as we see an image of a Christmas tree after discovering Cameron's date of death in the maze section of Andy's Apple Farm Chapter 1. As Cameron never escaped her house, it is likely she was stopped from doing so by the ominous entity. The same entity possessing her husband Thomas Eastwood, and the same entity which stopped their daughter Isabella from rescuing her little brother Lewis the day he drowned in a boating accident on the lake. Isabella refers to this at the beginning of the sequence. She then wakes up in the house as it burns to the ground, but manages to escape. Her mother Cameron isn't so lucky, forced to stay in the house by the entity and burning to death. This represented in the final moments of the clip. Cutscene 2 is a little harder to discover. To do so before interacting with either Klaus or Melody, which triggers the gift-giving cutscene, instead walk Andy out of the house and around the outside of the frame. From here you can gain access to the front door, previously blocked by Margaret, and upon opening it, the following movie plays out. "I'm so sorry, Isabella. It was never your fault. I was being a dumbass. Hopefully a present will help." Arthur? Thomas, there you are. I don't know what happened. By the time I came back from the store Where are they? Thomas, you know as much as I do. Bullshit. Where are they, Arthur? What did you do to them, Arthur? Thomas, it isn't what you're thinking. Thomas, why are you staring at that axe? Thomas, why are you staring at that axe? This secret scene is interesting because previously we witnessed it before the fire occurred, once again from Thomas's perspective. In Andy's apple farm, Thomas, in his Andy form, watches an interaction between his wife Cameron and daughter Isabella. Thomas had separated from Cameron after their relationship became strained in the wake of their son Lewis's death. He had also treated his daughter Isabella unfairly, blaming her for not saving Lewis that day on the lake. In this scene we discover that Thomas had returned the same night with a Christmas present for Isabella. He regretted his toxic behaviour and wanted to patch things up. However, upon returning later that night, Thomas discovered his best friend Arthur standing in a pile of ashes where the house once stood. Instantly he blamed Arthur for the fire and deaths of his family. Thomas was already enraged by his friend after spying on Arthur and learning that he began a secret relationship with Cameron after they separated. Thomas felt betrayed, and now as if Arthur had literally taken his remaining family from him. Under the influence of the entity, Thomas picked up the axe and chased down Arthur, ending his life in a brutal attack. More on that later. One final point to cover here is that during our playthrough of Andy's Apple Farm Chapter 1, it is heavily hinted that Thomas, while possessed by the entity, poured gasoline around his family home and set it ablaze. So while the fire may have originated from the Christmas tree, it only spread so fast because of the entity's influence, meaning Thomas was responsible for the fire that night before leaving to pick up a gift for Isabella and returning to find Arthur in the ashes. I'm going to conclude today's video by incorporating both endings and some additional lore found throughout Andy's Apple Farm Christmas special into one segment. While certain questions are answered, some new ones are also raised. After Andy completes the group's festive preparations, they begin opening their presents. Felix receives a boot, which is a throwback to the boots we had to avoid during his fishing minigame, and by extension, yet more evidence that this character represents Lewis, who drowned in the lake. Andy's present is different to the others. Something horrifying resides within the box he is given. Check it out. This creepy face and horrifying moaning represents Thomas Eastwood, now trapped and tortured within the Andy's Apple Farm game. We next hear from Peter the Pumpkin. Now once again, this seemingly friendly character symbolises the evil entity which took control of the Eastwood family to set their tragic fates in motion. In this sequence, Andy tries to remember who he really was, but his repressed memories are once again subdued by Peter.
Wait, why are you back?
You need to stop asking so many questions. Let's play a game.
Wait, no, stop!
You've done this before, in the same place he went missing.
No, you're wrong. It was...
Don't try and blame me now. You are fully aware of who is involved here.
The entity doesn't want Thomas communicating with us, the player. It doesn't wish for Thomas Eastwood and his family to escape their cursed existence within the game. So the present is a literal representation of Andy's prison and the repressed memories of his human existence as Thomas. Following this, upon interacting with each of the cartoon avatars who form Andy's friends, we get clear and direct confirmation that they were in fact once human. Felix is Lewis, Margaret is Cameron, Andy is Thomas, Klaus is Arthur, and Melody is Isabella. But we also meet a new character. This flower girl is, as of yet, nameless and unfamiliar to the current story. It seems she will become important later on and feature in Andy's Apple Farm Chapter 2. Her purpose is unclear at this time. The final sequence involves a chilling chase through a haystack maze between Andy and Peter the Pumpkin, who transforms into his true form, the entity which possessed Thomas before trapping him inside the game world. There are two endings to unlock here. The first we can view by simply allowing the entity to catch Andy. It plays out as follows.
Caught you.
She saw you, Thomas. She saw what you did. She didn't die that night. She saw what you did. She saw you kill him, Thomas. She saw everything. This ending reveals a terrible truth. Isabella escaped the fire and fled into the woods. Later that night, as Thomas murdered Arthur, his own daughter watched from the tree line in horror, witnessing the entire thing. We learn from an earlier sequence, unlocked after completing Felix's stocking hanging minigame, that Isabella would often spy on her father while he worked away in his office. She had noted a troubling change in his behaviour after the death of her brother Lewis. Thomas became consumed by both the entity and a desire to see his son once more. He focused an unhealthy amount of energy on his new game creation, Andy's Apple Farm. The rest is history, as we will soon see. If we evade capture and guide Andy safely to the front door of his house, then we receive this second ending. I'm sorry, Arthur. I'm not gonna let you die like this. I will bring you back. The same way I brought back Lewis. The second ending continues events from Thomas's perspective. After dragging the corpse of his friend Arthur back to the smoking remains of the Eastwood family home, Thomas vows to save his friend, which seems to be an odd thing to say after hacking him up with an axe. But Thomas has created technology that can in fact return a person from the afterlife. Sort of. In Andy's Apple Farm Chapter 1, we heard this audio log from Thomas where he discussed certain technology that sounded supernatural in nature.
I've also been thinking about some other types of technology to make the characters a bit more lifelike. I don't know. It's not very...
From the hand emerging from the screen to claim Arthur's corpse, it seems this technology was demonic in nature. Thomas somehow communicating with a demon through the code of his game, a demon which promised it could return Thomas's son Lewis to him after he drowned that day on the lake. This was of course a lie. While the entity returned both Lewis and Arthur from the afterlife, it did so by recreating them as trapped souls within the Andy's Apple Farm game, a virtual hell which this dark creature resided over like a prison warden, adding in more and more prisoners as time went by, and it clinically used Thomas to take the life of each remaining family member and friend. Not only that, this demon existed outside of the game too, setting events in motion when it prevented Isabella from saving her brother, and by extension created a monster in her father Thomas who would now do anything to reunite with his little boy. And for now, that is where the story of Andy's Apple Farm ends. We'll pick things back up with the launch of Chapter 2, but in the meantime I hope you enjoyed this video and found it both entertaining and informative. If you did, remember to leave a like, comment down below, and of course subscribe for more horror related content. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next video.